Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are diving deep into the incredible story of the Washington quarter dollar, one of America's most iconic and longest-running coins that has not only stood the test of time but also captured the imagination of collectors and historians across generations. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States and a symbol of leadership, unity, and strength. This coin replaced the standing Liberty quarter, which had been in circulation since 1916, and the decision to honor Washington came at a time when America was struggling through the Great Depression. The U.S. Treasury held a national competition to select the design, and famous sculptors submitted their visions of how Washington should appear on the coin. Laura Garden Fraser's design was initially chosen as the winner, showing a noble and lifelike portrait of Washington. However, then, Treasury Secretary Andrew W. Mellon unexpectedly rejected it and instead approved a design by John Flanagan, whose version portrayed Washington with a more classical style. The controversy over this choice lingered for decades, but Flanagan's design ultimately became one of the most recognized images in U.S. coinage history. The first Washington quarters were struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, measuring 24.3 millimeters in diameter and weighing 6.25 grams, with production beginning at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. The obverse featured Washington's left-facing profile with the word Liberty above and In God We Trust to the left, while the date appeared below his chin. The reverse showcased a majestic bald eagle clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing both strength and peace, with the inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and Quarter Dollar. The first-year issues of 1932 are now among the most valuable in the series, particularly the 1932 D and 1932 S, which had mintages of only 436,800 and 408,000 respectively. A 1932 D in top condition has sold for as high as $143,750 at auction, while a 1932 SMS 67 fetched over $45,000, making them the key dates every collector dreams of owning. The Washington quarter quickly became a permanent part of U.S. coinage rather than a one-year commemorative issue, and from 1934 onward, minor design refinements were made to sharpen the details of Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. During the 1940s and 1950s, the coin served faithfully through wartime and prosperity alike, with silver composition retained until 1964. Key dates from these decades include the 1934 D, 1936 D, and 1950 D, all of which are scarce in high-grade mint state and proof conditions. Proof versions produced at the Philadelphia Mint from 1936 to 1942, and again from 1950 onward, are particularly prized for their mirror-like surfaces and deep cameo contrasts. The rarest proof quarters in PR 68 deep cameo can bring anywhere from $7,000 to $12,000. As the years progressed, silver became increasingly expensive, and by 1965, the U.S. Mint officially changed the coin's composition to a copper-nickel clad alloy, 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, reducing the weight to 5.67 grams. This was a turning point in American coinage, as people began hoarding pre-1965 silver quarters for their intrinsic value. During the transition, a small number of 1,965 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover 90% silver planchets, creating one of the most famous and valuable minting errors in U.S. history. These transitional silver 1965 quarters can sell for $10,000 to $20,000 or more depending on grade and certification. In 1975 and 1976, the Washington quarter was redesigned to celebrate America's bicentennial, featuring the dual date 1776 to 1976, and a new reverse designed by Jack L. Ahr that depicted a colonial drummer with a torch surrounded by 13 stars representing the original colonies. Bicentennial quarters were struck in both copper-nickel and special 40% silver versions, the latter sold in collector sets. While billions were produced, certain high-grade silver proofs have sold for $6,000 or more, and rare errors such as double strikes or missing mint marks have also commanded impressive premiums. The coin returned to its traditional eagle reverse in 1977 and continued through the 1980s and 1990s, though collectors began noticing that modern quarters were becoming more challenging to find in gem condition due to heavy circulation wear. Notable modern rarities include the 1983 P quarter, which is valuable because the U.S. Mint did not issue official mint sets that year, making high-grade specimens rare. An MS 67 1983 P can bring $2,500, while an MS 68 example can exceed $5,000. Another standout is the 1992 S Silver Proof Quarter in PR70 Deep Cameo, which has sold for around $2,000. The 1999 launch of the 50-state quarters program revolutionized modern collecting and brought millions of new people into numismatics. Each state was honored with its own reverse design celebrating history, landmarks, and culture, while Washington's portrait remained on the obverse. Some of these state quarters became instant legends for their rare errors, like the 2004 D. Wisconsin Extra Leaf Quarters, featuring either a high or low extra leaf on the corn stalk, which can sell for $5,000 to $10,000 depending on condition. The 1999 Delaware Spitting Horse Die Crack Error, showing a small line of metal extending from the horse's mouth, is another collector favorite worth several $100s. The state quarters were followed by the 2009 DC and U.S. Territory Series, then the America the Beautiful Quarters from 2010 to 2021, which highlighted 56 national parks and historic sites. The 2019 to 2020 West Point Mint W Quarters, released directly into circulation with low mintages of just $2 million per design, became the first circulating quarters to bear the W mint mark. These 2019 W and 2020 W quarters are considered modern rarities, often selling for $300 to $1,000 in uncirculated condition and up to $2,000 in MS-68. The 2019 W San Antonio Missions Quarter, for example, brought over $2,000 at auction. In 2021, the Mint celebrated the end of the America the Beautiful series with the Crossing the Delaware Quarter, which depicted Washington standing heroically at the front of a boat, leading his troops across the icy Delaware River during the Revolutionary War, a powerful image sculpted by Michael Gaudioso that reconnected the design to its patriotic roots. Then, beginning in 2022, the U.S. Mint launched the American Women Quarters program, showcasing influential figures such as Maya Angelou, Sally Ride, Wilma Mankiller, Nina Otero Warren, and Anna May Wong. For the first time, Laura Garden Fraser's original 1931 portrait of George Washington was used on the obverse, the same design that had been rejected 90 years earlier, giving long overdue recognition to her artistry. Collectors and historians alike celebrated this moment as poetic justice, closing a century-long circle of American coinage history. Early American women quarters in perfect MS-70 and PR-70 grades have already sold for over $1,000, proving that the Washington Quarter remains relevant and collectible even in modern times. Beyond minting errors and rare dates, many small details can make Washington Quarters worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. Double die obverse, repunched mint marks, and off-center strikes all increase a coin's desirability. For example, the 1943 double die obverse quarter shows dramatic doubling in inscriptions and can fetch $10,000 in mint condition, while the 1950 D/S overmintmark variety sells for up to $8,000. Even modern quarters can surprise collectors. The 2005 Kansas quarter with the "In God We Rust" die fill error is worth hundreds, and the 2020 W quarters with the V75 Privy Mark, released to commemorate the 75th anniversary of World War II's end, have become sought-after collectibles selling for over $1,000 in top grade. Across the entire series, condition rarity continues to drive prices higher. Washington quarters graded MS-68 or higher often bring record prices, such as a 1949 DMS 68 Plus that sold for $43,475 and a 1950 SMS 68 that brought $25,300. From the Great Depression to the present day, the Washington quarter dollar has carried not just financial value but immense historical and artistic significance. It has survived economic changes, design transformations, and compositional shifts while always retaining its identity as a tribute to leadership and liberty. For collectors, it represents a fascinating journey through America's story, a coin that has witnessed war and peace, progress and preservation. Whether it's a 1932 silver classic, a 1965 transitional error, a 1976 bicentennial relic, or a 2019 W modern treasure, each Washington quarter holds a tale of craftsmanship and legacy. Even today, millions of people still search their pocket change hoping to discover one of these rare gems, proving that the Washington Quarter continues to inspire curiosity and excitement nearly a century after its debut. Its blend of historical resonance, design beauty, and market value ensures it remains one of the most beloved coins in U.S. history. Thanks for watching.